culinary student. And I have with me today Mrs. May Grant. And I've known her for many, many years. We're going to talk about what she did as a teacher, educator. And for the first half of our interview, and the second half, we'll talk about my topic, which was, is there parental influence on childhood obesity? And I chose her because she's dealt with children most half of her job, so I figured what way to interview a person that knows a lot about children. And being that when I graduate, I would like to become a teacher myself, so kind of get some insights on it. So, would you like to tell what was your job title and how long have you done it?
Carla, I retired in 2009 with 32 years of experience. I worked as a classroom teacher, serving children with disabilities from preschool age up through 8th grade. I did that for 19 years, and then 13 years I served as a director of special education services.
Okay. What are some benefits of being a teacher?
The benefits of being a teacher are great, and there are many. The teaching profession is the only profession that is the foundation of all professions. Because can you just even imagine what life would be like without a teacher? No matter what someone chooses as a profession, someone taught them how to be the best they could be in that professional path.
Awesome. Have you ever thought about another career besides teaching, or have you always wanted to become a teacher?
No, I didn't always want to be a teacher. Initially, when I first got to college, I wanted to be a counselor. And I wanted to become a counselor because of the very negative experiences and poor advice I thought I received as a student myself. But once I got to college and began to look at those programs, I thought I may be able to impact the lives of children more by becoming a teacher. So shortly after I got there, during my first semester of college, is when I chose to go toward the teaching path.
Okay, so you've always wanted to deal with children, basically.
Basically, I did, yes.
Okay. So what do you think about schools incorporating more health-related programs for our children to fight childhood obesity?
I think it's a great idea. Because once you think about the school setting, the classroom setting, that's where learning takes place. And if you want children to learn about something, even the obesity challenge, that's something that we can incorporate in any of our lessons and begin to deal with that issue from that aspect from the classroom.
Okay. Do you think that parents are ultimately at fault for the children being obese? Why or why not? I know it's a tough question, but answer.
I think parents are responsible because parents are the first teachers, I believe, for children. And it's at that point when they begin to set the stage of what is considered healthy lifestyles. And as a parent, you begin to do that by what you prepare, what foods you prepare for your students, and the level of activity that you begin to involve them in. You can direct the path of physical activity for them. So yes, I think they especially the younger children, they share that responsibility of setting those kinds of positive eating habits as well as physical activities for those children.
Okay. While I was researching my information on my topic, I came across some information that was talking about children being bullied and picked on because they were different from the other kids. How would you suggest that a teacher deal with students who are being bullied or picked on because of their weight and because they look a little different than the other children?
First of all, I think it is the primary responsibility of a teacher to let students know that they care about them. And once that relationship is established and a child understands that this teacher truly cares about me as a total person and accept that, they know that they are helping them with their academics, then they've established a relationship that when a child is bullied, then that child can come back and share with the teachers of concern that they have or the negative aspect of what they're experiencing from their classmates, then I think that would be a great opportunity for a teacher to then take that level of trust and use it to help incorporate activities in her lessons to help a child deal with being bullied.
Okay, that was a great answer.
Okay.
In your opinion, if future educational tax cut were to eliminate school breakfast and lunch programs, how would that affect children's health and nutritional needs?
I think it'll have a really big impact on it. It's been my experience that I've observed children who, in the settings where I work, the schools did provide breakfast, they also provided lunch. For many students, the very first meal they got was when they got to school for breakfast. And for many students, the last meal they got was what they had for lunch. So if any of those fund cuts for providing nutritional services or meals to students are cut, then as you know, there's a hunger epidemic already in our country. And I think more children will be impacted. And if children are hungry, I believe they're more focused on that than learning, and that's going to interfere with the kind of progress that we probably want to see children make academically.
Okay. Well, I strongly believe that teachers do make a difference in children's lives. Or students, have you ever had that life-changing experience in the classroom setting where you've changed or impacted the life of a child who was just in need of impacting?
Well, I think I have. Since I retired and got to the administrative level, I would come across several of my students who would often remind me how mean I was, but yet at the same time they said they appreciated me because I did force them to think about their future. I encouraged them to work hard, and many of them continued where they did finish high school and went on to college, and some of them have very successful careers. So for many students, yes, I impacted them, and there were some students where it was more difficult for me to reach, but there was always a team effort in the building where I worked, where we all tried to do everything we could to reach that child who was really, it appears in our view, was headed down a different path than we thought was going to be best for that child.
Okay. So after you taught for 19 years, you became on the board of education.
I was the director of special education services for 13 years.
And I can remember when I was about in maybe 6th, 7th grade when I job shadowed Miss Grant, and I got to actually see what she did for a whole day. And yeah, we went to a lot of meetings, and I can say, well, that didn't stop me from wanting to be a teacher. That's just the Board of Education stuff. That is not what teachers do. But I was still in the school, and I was still around children, and that part was fun and interesting, and I still remember that, even though it was many, many, many years ago. And I like that.
Okay, I think the day you came, it was a very busy day, and as the day was just filled with meeting, which included a board meeting. You're right. Okay.
So me, being that I graduate in a couple weeks or so, and I plan to do the alternative route to teaching, and I plan to teach younger students elementary education. Do you have any advice for me as a future teacher?
First thing, let it be your heart's desire. Don't seek it as just a job. If this is going to be your career path, make sure this is something you want to do. Because every day that you enter that classroom is a challenging day. It's a brand new day. It's almost like a new set of kids, co-workers. You have to be prepared, be a very organized person because you have to prepare lessons. And as you know, there are a lot of standards that you have to meet, your core standards. You have to prepare students for subject area testing. And you're really ultimately preparing them for a future. And you're going to be one of the key persons who impact that future. So, make sure that this is truly what you want to do. Prepare yourself for it and be able to follow the course of action that you need to follow in order to become the best teacher that you can be. Because if not, then it will become more of a burden to you than an exciting challenge to brighten the life of students.
This concludes my interview with Mrs. Meg Grant. I thank you for being here with me today, and I hope to become as good of a teacher as you were. Thank you.